The first kiss is more dangerous than sex. We're going to dive into this conversation today. So let me tell you where this video was birthed is I came across a dating coach about a week ago, and what they shared in their videos and content was that, particularly I think it was directed towards women, is that that couples wait about 3 months before they kiss or even consider having physical intimacy. And when I heard that kissing should wait 3 months, it got me thinking about kissing in general. And I wanted to dive into this conversation today because I'm having a different awareness than I used to in the past. And I want to share with you a blog that I wrote for my Facebook page and see if it resonates with you. And then I'm going to share with you 5 factors to consider when it comes to kissing in romantic relationships. So let me share with you the blog, and then we're going to go from there. And the title of the blog is Why Kissing Too Soon is Wrecking Modern Dating. Why Kissing Too Soon is Wrecking Modern Dating. The other night, I rewatched Pretty Woman, and it still holds up as one of those great romantic comedies of our time. There's a scene that always stops me in my tracks. Vivian, played by Julia Roberts, lays down a boundary with Edward, played by Richard Gere. The boundary is no kissing. Sex is fine, but kissing is off limits. Now, for those who haven't seen the movie, Julia Roberts, or Vivian, is a sex worker. And so what she's basically saying is, I'll have physical intimacy with you, but kissing is different. And what she says is, kissing is too intimate. It's too personal. It's too real. 30 years later, that moment feels even more relevant today. Somewhere along the way, kissing got demoted. It became casual, expected, a first date checkpoint. If you don't kiss by date 1 or date 2, something must be wrong. Chemistry must be lacking, attraction must be dead. But what if we got this completely backwards? Kissing is not neutral. Kissing is not casual. Kissing is not just the lips touching. Kissing is emotional electricity that amps up our connection. It's the nervous system activation. It's attachment glue. It's bypassing logic and speaks directly to the body and the heart. It creates a sense of closeness long before trust has been earned. That's why Vivian's boundary was so powerful. She understood something most people ignore. Kissing creates a bond. And the bond without discernment are how people get confused, hurt, and emotionally entangled with the wrong person. Too many people use kissing as an entry point for chemistry. They kiss to see if a spark shows up. They kiss to manufacture excitement. They kiss before they know if they actually like a person sitting across from them, before they even know if this person is kind, emotionally available, consistent, or even safe. They wonder why they feel attached so quickly, why walking away feels so hard, why red flags suddenly look beige. Kissing should not be a test drive for chemistry. It shouldn't be a reward for trust. It certainly shouldn't be a reward for a great first date. This doesn't mean kissing is bad. It means kissing is sacred. It deserves intention. It deserves presence. It deserves discernment. There is something incredibly grounded and mature about saying, I want to know you before I merge energy with you. Let me repeat this. I want to know you before I merge energy with you. I want to feel your character before I feel your mouth. I want to like you before my nervous system gets involved. If you've ever felt swept away too fast only to crash later, this might be the missing piece. You didn't fall for the person, you bonded through chemistry before compatibility had a chance to speak. So here's the invitation. Slow the kiss down. Let liking someone before longing. Let trust come before sparks. When kissing is chosen consciously instead of casually, it becomes what is always meant to be, a meaningful bridge, not a seduction shortcut. And yes, that changes everything. Is kissing a reward for a great first date? By the way, this is male thinking. I want to acknowledge this, that for the women who watch my channel, I think this is a very male thing, physical connection before trust is earned. Physical connection to see if I like you as an entry point to I like you. And yet, how many people had a great first date, had a great first kiss, and then poof, gone, ghosted, no call, no nothing. Maybe some dysfunctional moonwalk pulling them away. That's a very common tale. And so, as I thought about this coach's idea of 3 months, I'm not a big fan of the timeline. And I wanted to put my own spin on this. And that is, when we're physically connected to someone, I think it should be based on trust. It should be based on character. It should be based on presence. Do I feel calm with this person? Or is my nervous system activated? Am I reacting to lust? Am I reacting to limerence? Versus really knowing, is this person someone that I really want to invest in? And today, kissing is almost as trivialized as shaking someone's hand. We certainly know that sex shouldn't be trivialized. Every dating coach will tell you to hold off on sex. Even this coach that I shared with you says holding off on that. But I certainly believe kissing is the entry point before physical intimacy from that vantage point. And certainly you want to know if the person's a good kisser, because it might give you some insight into their capacity with regard to the physical intimacy. So I said the first kiss is more dangerous than sex, and I'm going to give you 5 bullet points to consider. And please forgive me, I'm reading notes, so I have this right up on my keyboard. So let me share this with you, what I believe we should be considering going forward. Number 1, kissing is not casual. It activates bonding chemicals and emotional attachment before trust is established. Well, I mean, it can before trust is established for those people that kiss on a first date. I want you to think about this. How well do you know someone that you've met for the first time? Met for the first time. Most likely these days, we're meeting total strangers. We know very little about a person at the first meeting. In fact, oftentimes I don't even call it a first date. I call it a first meeting. And so if it is a meeting, do you realize that kissing someone can activate chemicals? It can activate dopamine. It can activate testosterone. It can activate estrogen. It can activate all this chemical cocktail that could get you attached to a person that you may not know very well. You realize that? Attachment to a person that you may not know very well. And this is why I'm such a big proponent of establishing trust. How do you establish trust? Folks, if you haven't read the book, well, I invite you to read the book, Are You the One for Me by Barbara DeAngelis. All the books I recommend are listed below. Are You the One for Me? Knowing who's right and avoiding who's wrong. Why I'm recommending this book is it invites you to look deeper than the surface of just attraction for one another. And today, dating is more about attraction, entertainment, romance, and physical connection without ever knowing, are we really compatible with one another? Can we blend lives with one another? Do we share the same values? And more importantly, is this person emotionally mature enough to be in relationship? Let me scream that at the top of my lungs. Is this person that I'm meeting for the very first time that I know very little about, most likely, does this person have the emotional maturity to be in relationship? Dear lady watching this, let me ask you, how many times have you gone out with a guy? Oh, I want a relationship. I want a relationship. I want a relationship. And after you kissed or were physically intimate with them, all of a sudden, I'm not ready for a relationship. You find out they're still hung up on their ex. You find out that they're still married, that they haven't finalized their divorce. You find out they just ended a relationship 6.5 seconds ago. By the way, I know I once spoke to a woman, and I met her on a dating app. She wrote me, and I asked her, when did her last relationship she ended? She said the night before. And I'm like, wait a minute, the relationship ended the night before? I said, I'll wait 6 months before I talk to you. She goes, no, it was over by the way, a 2-year relationship. She goes, it was over 9 months earlier. I finally pulled the trigger. I'm like, you're still, there's still the tapestry of your life with another person, an entanglement, an energetic entanglement. By the way, great question to ask someone. Might be, does anyone else still believe you're in a relationship with them? I'm a big proponent of deeper discernment. And if you need some help with that, there's a link below. Schedule a discovery call with me to see if working with a coach is right for you. Okay? So, to keep going. All right. So, kissing is not casual. It activates bonding chemicals. Number 2, modern dating treats kissing like a prerequisite instead of a privilege. Remember I said earlier, it's a reward for a great first date. And that's why people bond fast and break hard. It's not a reward for a great first date. It's not a prerequisite. It should be a privilege. The minute two people kiss, there's an energetic connection to one another. Now, I am so guilty of trying to get a kiss right away. So listen, for a person to be saying this, let me tell you, I was the guy that was out there, right after my divorce, trying to get laid, trying to have sex, trying to get my needs met before trust was ever built. And I can't tell you how many times lust and limerence overcame me like a shark's eyes that roll back. It overcame me. And all I cared about my own needs. And once I kissed someone or once I was physically intimate with them, all of a sudden I'm like, why don't I like this person anymore? The chemicals that are released like dopamine is like crack cocaine. And trivializing kissing as just a norm, as a handshake, instead of a privilege, I think something we should be considering going forward. Number 3, chemistry created through kissing can override discernment. I said earlier, it bonds us to another person. It can make red flags into green flags. We stop seeing the boundaries once we're physically connected to someone. I want you to think about that for a moment. By the way, I'm sure a lot of women are listening to this going, yes, yes, yes. And the guys are like, wait a minute, I'm not allowed to kiss someone. It's not my reward for I just took this woman on a great first date. I deserve to get a kiss because I spent all this money. Folks, I think it's time that we start looking at kissing almost as sacred as physical intimacy, because we can bond with someone that we know very little about. It can override our judgment. And then all of a sudden we have all this sunk cost in with someone that we know nothing about. I can't tell you how, oh my God, I'm so excited about this content that I'm a little bit giddy. But, we can bond with someone, particularly women. Oxytocin is released, a bonding chemical, with someone that could be so misaligned. This is why my videos for the last 6 months, because of my relationship with my beloved, is all about building a friendship, building trust, building a friendship, building trust, building friendship, building trust with one another. So that when you do kiss, when you're physically intimate, it's the icing on the cake to something stronger. This is why many of you know I talk about my dating vows. There's a link below to get a copy of my dating vows. If you're not familiar with this, here, I'm going to share it with everybody. This is agreements people make. Have you ever heard the phrase, women are the gatekeepers of sex and men are the gatekeepers of commitment? I think nowadays in dating, we should be more intentional. We should be more intentional. And the dating vows goes like this. It's an agreement two people make with one another. Especially after kissing, I agree to explore the process of getting to know you from a truthful place with the intent of declaring something serious within the next 3 to 6 months. It's setting an intention, like, why are we doing this? It's an agreement to be monogamous with one another while you're having regular sex together. I think that's a fair thing to say. I think it's also agreeing not to actively seek and meet and date others while you're in the dating process. That includes taking down your dating profile. That also an agreement to speak up if this isn't working for you versus pulling back, ghosting, and disappearing. And agreeing to invest regular time together into getting to know one another through social activities, hobbies, mutual interest. Folks, I think it's time. I think, After 2025, it is time to be intentional, to use radical honesty, to establish boundaries right from the very beginning, to know thyself, know your fears, your insecurities, your negative patterns, your limiting beliefs that might affect a romantic relationship. It's time to show up as grown-ups. And that includes kissing, to not trivialize it. Number 4, when we kiss before you know if you actually like someone, your nervous system gets a vote before your values do. Bump, 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 bump. When you kiss before you know if you actually like someone, your nervous system gets a vote before your values do. You know, it takes time to get to know someone at a heart-centered level. I know my beloved, after our first meeting, we spent almost 60, 70 hours on the phone just building a friendship. We weren't even going to explore a relationship. We were just building a friendship with one another. And after about 50 plus hours, all of a sudden, I found myself really liking this person. She knew my backstory. I knew her backstory. She knew my fears, my insecurities, my doubts, because I treated as friendships. And all of a sudden, through that building of connection, I found myself even more and more attracted to her. She found herself more and more attracted to me. So when we had that first kiss, it was an ignition to the physical connection, because we weren't focused on attraction, entertainment, romance, and physical connection. We were building a real core connection with one another, and the physical intimacy took it to another level. And lastly, number 5, conscious kissing comes after safety, consistency, and genuinely liking someone. When it does, it confirms connection instead of manufacturing it. Let me repeat that, and I'm reading from my notes. Conscious kissing comes after safety, consistency, and genuinely liking someone. And when it does, it confirms connection instead of manufacturing it. See, kissing before trust has been built, before real liking someone is built, other than the physical liking, is a manufacturing of false intimacy, a manufacturing of false intimacy. And these days, we can manufacture false and artificial intimacy through a lot of text messaging. How's your day going? Did you have a good day? I hope you had a good day. You know, so many people are building all artificial intimacy through texting before genuine inquiry, before genuine curiosity. One of the things I love about my beloved is she is chronically curious? Chronically curious. In fact, we are digging into each other all the time, and not on a physical level, to understand what's happening in our heart, where we were, how we got here, and where are we going. That's our conversations. We spend less time on the past now. We're in the present, but also where are we going? And the kissing is the reward of trust that's been built. It's the reward of liking each other. It's the reward of building a real friendship, instead of the entryway, the handshake, hoping that somehow a real connection can be manifested. Is this sinking in? Is this resonating with you? If it is, please let me know. Share your thoughts, post a comment below. I do my best to read them all in the first 24 hours. As always, if you find value in my videos, please hit that like button. Please share this video. Please subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified of new videos. And if you want to connect with me directly, hey, there's links below. Schedule a discovery call with me to see if working with a coach is right for you. Join my group called Midlife Love Mastery. Follow all the books I recommend. And don't forget those dating vows I shared. There's a list below. The first kiss is possibly more dangerous than sex. Hope you got value out of this conversation. Thanks a bunch. And I'm going to end this video as I always do. First off, giving myself a big, gigantic Jonathon hug of self-love. I'm going to reach into the camera and give you a hug of love if that's okay. I'm going to ask you to turn to someone, pet, a teddy bear, a pillow. Give it or them a hug of love, because hugs are a great source of love. And let's face it, we could all use more love in our lives. Thanks a bunch. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye.